just recently, Donald Trump issued a bold threat to the BRICS nation, warning them to stay away from challenging the US dollars. But what if this isn't just about tariffs? What if this is the beginning of a seismic shift in the way money moves around the world? Trump's words have raised alarms, but the strategies that these nations are using are far more sophisticated than most people realize. How could this change the very foundation of the US dollar dominance? And more importantly, what does this mean for you and your money? So stick around, because in this video we'll be uncovering the hidden game plan behind the BRICS bold move and how they could reshape the global financial system and your wallet. Donald Trump is known for making bold and sometimes controversial statements, but his recent warning to the BRICS nation is one of the most explosive yet. He declared, if you abandon the US dollars, you will face 100% tariff and don't expect to sell to the American market. This wasn't just a threat, it's a direct challenge to one of the fastest growing economic alliances in the world. To really understand why this warning is so significant, let's break it down. The US dollar isn't just America's currency, it's the world currency. It's the backbone of the global financial system, and for decades, countries around the world have used the dollars to trade goods and settle debts. This dominance has given the US immense economical power, allowing it to impose sanctions, control international trade, and even influence the economies of other countries. But now, the BRICS nation, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and the other guys that just joined them are saying enough is enough. Together, these nations are tired of what they see as the US weaponizing the dollars to maintain its dominance. And with their combined population and growing economic power, BRICS is in a position to do something about it. Trump's warning wasn't just about economics, it's about maintaining the status quo. If the BRICS nations succeed in creating a financial system that bypasses the US dollars, it could fundamentally shift the balance of global power. But here's the twist. BRICS isn't taking the obvious route of creating a single rival currency. Instead, they are working on a strategy that is far more calculated and arguably much harder for the US to counter. Trump's threat of 100% tariff is a high-stake gamble. If BRICS nations move forward with their plans, the US could lose more than just trade, it could lose its grip on the global financial system. This is why Trump's warning has sent shockwave through the financial market and the political cycles alike. To understand the significance of Trump's warning, let's dig a little bit deeper into the BRICS nation coalition. Originally formed by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS has become a powerful economic alliance. Recently, the coalition expanded, adding 5 more nations to its ranks. Together, these 10 countries represent a quarter of the global economy and half of the world population. That's right, half of humanity is now part of a coalition aiming to challenge the status quo. What is BRICS really up to? Their goal isn't just about creating a stronger economic bloc, it's about rewriting the rules of global finance. See, for decades, the US dollars has been the dominant reserve currency, giving America significant economic leverage. This dominance has allowed the US to impose sanctions, control global financial systems, and even export inflation to other countries by printing dollars. For nations in the BRICS coalition, this isn't just unfair, it's a problem that they are determined to solve. But here's where things get really interesting. You see, BRICS are not trying to dethrone the dollar by creating a single unified currency. Instead, they are working on something far more strategic, a complete alternative to the existing financial system. Their strategy involves enabling each nation to use its own currency while building the infrastructure to trade seamlessly without relying on the US dollars. One example of this is the New Development Bank, the NDB, which provides loans to member countries without the political political strings attached to institutions like the IMF or World Bank. And then there's Project Enbridge, a collaborative effort between BRICS nation and the Bank for International Settlements. The project aims to create a cross-border digital currency platform that allows member nations to settle trades in their own currency. This would mean they can bypass the US dollars entirely. BRICS isn't just an alliance of nations, it's a calculated effort to disrupt the global financial order. To truly understand the end games, we need to uncover the tools they are building behind the scene. And this isn't just about challenging the US dollar dominance, it's about creating a completely new financial system. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the New Development Bank. Unlike the IMF or the World Bank, the New Development Bank doesn't impose strict conditions to its loan. It was established in 2014 to fund infrastructures and sustainable development projects within BRICS nation and other developing countries. And since its inception, the bank has approved over 32 billion for 96 projects. And while that might sound like a lot, the NDB is significantly smaller than the World Bank. But here's the catch. It's growing fast and is designed to serve its members on their terms, not under Western influence. And then there's Project Enbridge, an even more ambitious project. This initiative is a collaboration between the BRICS nation and the Bank of International Settlement. It's not just a digital currency project, it's a platform for cross-border payment that allows member nations to trade directly using their own currency. In simple terms, it eliminates the need for the US as an intermediary. But here's the challenge. While BRICS has a massive population, the economic heft is relatively small compared to the US. For example, India has a huge population but only contributes 3% to global GDP, while the United States, with just 4% of world population, contribute a staggering 26% to global GDP. This imbalance means that the BRICS still has a long way to go before it can truly challenge the dollar. However, don't estimate the significance of what they are building. This is just the beginning. And here's why this strategy matters a lot. For decades, the US dollars has been used as an economic tool. Sanctions, trade restrictions, inflation export through dollar printing has given the US immense leverage. By reducing reliance on the dollars, BRICS nations can protect themselves from economic weapons. It's a way to level up the playing field and regain control over their financial sovereignty. But this isn't just about BRICS, is it? The ripple effect on their strategy could be felt globally. If more nations were to join their system, it could weaken the US dollars and force the US to make major adjustments to its economic policies. This is the real hidden strategy, not a direct attack, but a gradual erosion of the dollar influence. And here's the kicker. While it might seem small now, the BRICS financial tools are only getting stronger. The question is, how long can the US maintain its position as the world economic superpower in the face of this growing challenge? Well, that all sounds good, but what does this really mean for the United States, for the world, and more importantly, for you? The ripple effect of BRICS strategy could already be felt, and this could fundamentally change the financial landscape. Let's start with the US dollars. For decades, the dollar has been the backbone of global trade and finance. But as BRICS nations and others move away from relying on it, the demand for the dollars is falling. And here's the problem. When the global demand for the dollar decreases, the value of the dollar weakens. This means inflation will rise and the dollars in your bank account will buy less. Think of it like this. Your money is slowly losing its power, and everything from groceries to gas become even more expensive. The US government, in response, will face mounting pressure to print even more money to stabilize the economy. But printing more dollars only creates even more inflation, a vicious cycle that puts even more strain on everyday people. And at the same time, BRICS nations are shifting their focus to something more stable: commodities. They are stockpiling gold, hoarding oil reserve, and even investing in uranium. These are symbolic moves to show their independence from the dollars. And it's not just physical assets, by the way. Digital currencies like bitcoins are also gaining traction. Central banks around the world are starting to hold more gold and less US Treasury bonds, a trend that signals a major shift in how nations manage their reserves. And this shift impacts more than just government. If BRICS succeed in reducing their reliance on the dollars, global trade patterns could change. US exporters may face new challenges and the cost of imported goods could rise. And for you, it means a financial system where traditional savings might offer the security they once did. But here's the big picture. This isn't just about economics, it's about a shift in power. As the US dollars loses its dominance, the balance of global influence could tilt towards emerging markets and away from traditional Western powers. For Americans and Westerners, this is a wake-up call. How you save, how you invest, how you spend will need to adapt to a world where the dollars isn't the undisputed king of global finance. Let's step back for a moment and look at the big picture. The dominance of the US dollar isn't disappearing overnight, but it's fading. In its place, we are seeing the rise of a multipolar financial system, a world where no single currency reigns supreme. This shift has the potential to upend global trade, dispute pricing mechanism, and challenge the stability of entire economies. It's a slow but steady rebalancing of power, and it's already underway. The question is, who is ready for it? Whether you're a country or an individual, adapting to this new world could mean the difference between thriving and falling behind. In a world that is rapidly changing, staying ahead means diversifying your approach. Think beyond traditional fiat currencies. Consider commodities like gold and digital assets like Bitcoin as part of your financial strategy. Preparing now could make all the difference. So, what do you think about this global shift? Drop your thoughts in the comment below, and if you found this insightful, hit that subscribe button for more deep dive into financial stories that are shaping our future. And if you are curious about the BRICS nation latest innovation, BRICS Pay, well, stay tuned for my upcoming video where I plan to break this down on what they are planning and how that payment system exactly works. But for now, check out my next video on Trump's energy drilling plan and its global impact. It's a must watch and it's coming up right now.